Greetings to you this day. This is Michelle Strickland, and I'm coming to you today with my daily theology lesson. It's my lesson that I do for myself. I record it and I release it because maybe somebody else out there can get something out of it. You know, I do it because I want to be a better principled person. I focus out of 3 religious texts: the Bible, the Quran, and a Buddhist text that's a paperback, an introductory paperback called The Shape of Suffering, and it's dealing with dependent co-arising. I rotate each of the texts usually twice a week. Sometimes I miss a day here or there, but basically that's pretty much it. You know, love yourself. You know, love yourself. Never give up on yourself. If you lose everything, you can always rebuild, but never give up on yourself. You know, you don't have to be perfect to love God. Remember that. You know, we all struggle with things. You know, choose God this day. You know, if you're going to struggle with something, go through it with the Lord, because he'll help pull you on through. We always have to deal with our consequences, whether they're good or bad. You know, it's just how it is. But at least, you know, if you're with God, you're going to be okay. So when I'm in the shape of suffering, I only read a little bit of it because it's so complex, okay? The specific features of dependent co-arising as described in the Pali Canon show how these general principles operate in practice. To begin with, the causal principle underlying the process of dependent co-arising is a complex principle, allowing for feedback loops to develop, to interact persistently, and to intersect on different time scales. The principle is, when this is, that is. From the arising of this comes the arising of that. When this isn't, that isn't. From the cessation of this comes the cessation of that. This pattern is called this, that conditionality. There's a word I'm looking at that I got to look at it. If I don't pronounce it correctly, forgive me. Just give me a second, though. Excuse me. Kata. Kayata. Adapka. 1 minute. Idapic. Yeah. Idapic. Kayata. Sorry about that. That's all right. I don't mind looking a fool. I'm trying to learn. Because it's described the intersection of events that can be pointed to as this or that in immediate experience. It is best understood as the interaction of 2 principles, the more obvious of the 2 expressed in 2 and 4, which is, I'm not going to get into the numbers, okay? I'm not going to get into the numbers right now because I don't have the Pali Canon, and I'm just reading and learning, okay? Let me start that over. The obvious of the 2 expressed in 2 and 4 connects events over time. So that's probably from the previous lessons, okay? The rising of A will at some point in time cause the rising of B. The ceasing of A will at some point in time cause the ceasing of B. An example here would be the relation between An example here would be the relation between a physical feeling of pleasure or pain and a complex emotion, or to use a Buddhist technical term, a fabrication, based on the feeling. That can be a lapse in time between the arising of the feeling and the arising of the emotion. Just as there can be a lapse in time between their ceasing. So, you know, every word means something different, as we all know, but it all relates to each other in different ways, you know, and how we pattern our phrases and our words can, you know, give it meaning, and then, you know, how we react to it. I'm going to stop right there. Anyway, remember to smile this day anyway, and reach out to one person at a time, okay?